I love it. That should be our real song. Like that's our real theme song. Secretly, welcome to Fear Street. Clink, clink, clink.
Link.
All right, and we're live. Welcome everyone. Today we're back with Chucky the series.
Yay! We are coming at you live every Wednesday to see what little Charles Lee Ray has gotten up to. These mini-sodes will drop on our podcast feed the next morning, so you know we're going to be drunk and they will not be edited. So don't even write us, don't even call us. We know.
Don't beat us. Don't do none of that. Yeah, so today we're so excited to be joined by Ryan from Brother Ghoulish and Alma from Nightmare on 5th Street.
Hi!
Make sure you all go follow all their stuff. We don't have time to get into it because we have so much stuff to get through because this episode was wild.
They will be tagged on the post though, and there will be a pop quiz.
No, oh gosh. Sharai, all right. Let's get into this fourth episode of Chucky. Okay, we always start with kind of a discussion topic that Sharai and I feel like needs to be talked about.
Oh, wait. Forget the poll.
I always forget the polls.
No, that's why I was 2 weeks behind. So if you're listening to this on Spotify or not listening to this on Spotify, but would like to vote in the poll, you can find it on Spotify when we drop this up there at midnight-ish. We asked a question about the favorite moment of the week every week. And this week, what won was Chucky and Lexi's fight. 100%. We all voted for that.
We're always 100%. Always.
When his little legs start going, we all knew what was going to win. Nothing else mattered.
Perfect. All right. So our discussion topic for episode 4, do we think Lexi is redeemable? And how do we feel about her and Jake having to team up after everything that has happened in the last 3 episodes?
I'll let y'all go because I'm a Gemini.
All right. I can start. You know my answer because I'm Pisces. I feel like she's redeemable. But it is how I feel. Like I
love a redemption arc.
I feel like she's very trash, like for sure. But there was like that really cool cogent point that was made somewhere in the middle there. Like it doesn't mean that she deserves to die, or be murdered or anything. So did I want to see her get killed? Maybe. But yeah, I think she's redeemable.
I think it's still going to happen.
But yeah,
later on. But like,
I'm good with that.
She's
redeemable. That's my T-shirt. Should say.
I'm always team redemption arc. I will say that like, granted, she has done some atrocious things, but yeah, I don't know. This gets kind of into my top and bottom for later on, but like, I'm really glad that Jake ended up saving her because I don't want to feel super complicated about one of the few queer protagonists in horror to be like, oh, he's now killing people with Chucky. But yeah, them having to work together, they didn't have a choice. There was no one else.
That's true.
You go ahead and go, Alma, because I got to go ahead.
Well, here's the thing. I think she is totally redeemable, but I don't like it. Like it's cool that she is, but I don't want it to happen. But I know it's gonna happen, and as it's happening, I'm just kind of like voting for like bad stuff to happen to her along the way. And so, like her getting saved, I wanted him to save her at that point because I think he's like, I want him to do like the awesomest thing at every chance he gets because he's like young. He's like spontaneous. I don't want him to make a bad decision like on that path. And I think if she's going to get it, it's going to be because of something she does on her own. Like that's what I want. I want her to, if she's going to die, yay. If she does, it's going to be like her own consequences of whatever action. And I don't want her to do it heroically either because that's just not.
No. I love a good villain, but like I also love to see a good villain catch some hands. And so I don't think she's redeemable because I mean, again, she's a little sociopath. She's not even doing typical bullying shit. She's like, I'm just about your dead dad and dance a party. And then when you try and send your little killer doll after me, I'm gonna tell you overreacting. And so I'm just like, I don't need her following me around gaslighting him. I don't need her following him around downplaying what she's been doing to him. She got it coming. Like full cell block tango, lights, camera, sass. She got it coming. And I want Chucky to give it to her every episode.
I just have one really quick thing to add to this, because I do think it's kind of appropriate. But like, again, I agree, Alma. I do want her to die eventually, but I think her character is too fun to be dead in the 4th episode. Number one, and number two, I agree with you again, Alma. I want it to be through Chucky and her. I don't want Jake to have a role in how she dies. And then also, I think she is it helps me believe in her redeemability because her parents are absolute trash.
Mhm.
Like, her parents do not take responsibility for anything either. And I go back to that 2nd episode when they literally tell her she can't do anything. Her sister, who we'll get to later because I love her, they praise her sister for everything that she does because she's on the spectrum, and that gives them political points and social ladder points. But they don't help her at all. They literally tell her she can't do anything, and that's trash.
I'm not saying her parents aren't trash, because I agree they're trash. But also, the girl's a sociopath, and I get that, like, she might feel a certain way because her sister does demand more attention and time of them, but that's like any kid on the spectrum, and that doesn't give you a reason to go out and be an asshole in the world because your sister needed more attention. And so, like, I'm Camp Kill-A-Hoe.
Oh my God.
I want to just clarify something. I don't mean that his sister needed more attention. I just mean that the parents were literally praised, like they literally told her how amazing her sister is and how much shit she is. And this is before they find out about the dancing as the dead dad.
I'm gonna have to go back and roll that bean footage because I did not.
Because it happened. They literally tell her she's trash to her face.
I mean, the truth hurts, as Lizzo sung, but also I will go back and look at the footage.
All right. Well, let's get. I think we've. Does anyone else have any points about Jake and Lexi?
I'm just asking, Sharai, when you release your T-shirt line, please do Camp Kill-A-Hoe. Like, please, and then put the Gemini symbol like underneath.
I'll buy it.
Like, please.
Like I said, I want her to die. I'm Camp Team Kill-A-Hoe as well. But
I hope this actor understands that, like, what her and Mancini have done is give us our new favorite character we want to see dead every week, which is why, like, she can't die. And she comes from a soap opera world. So I'm sure she's like, she's used to people being like, I want her to die every Monday through Friday.
I didn't know that her mother, the actress, is her mother. Like, their mother.
We talked about that 2 episodes ago. Yeah.
Oh,
I thought that was cool, by the way.
Yeah.
But it's funny because, like, despite the fact I feel that she's redeemable, I'm not going to shed one tear if she gets cut up. And like we're kind of talking about, I kind of feel like the death will be like, it'd be kind of funny if that's how the season ends. Like, you know, she hits a corner and then Chucky's waiting there. It's like, I've been waiting for you. And, you know, that's literally how the season ends. That'd be really funny.
I want Tiffany to show up and be like,
Oh, Tiffany. All right. Well, let's get into our specific points about this episode. Alma or Ryan, you want to go first with one of your thoughts?
Oh, Alma, you're muted.
I did that on purpose so you wouldn't hear the clink of my drink. So anyway, I want to get to why didn't Jake think more about the consequences in regards to Alexi's little sister? I understand the whole, like, they're representing really well, like the teenage mentality and everything, and you know they're not really fully understanding the consequences of their actions and whatnot. But he gave the serial killer doll to the little girl. Why didn't he think that would end up bad for her? She's in the hospital. And I just think if anything he's gonna do, I'm glad he learned from that, because right away he's like, oh man, I messed up. Like, he right away realizes it. But I felt like, oh, why did I have to have him do that? Because I'd rather it had been like excluded from her. I understand that the relationship was between Chucky and the little sister, but that really like just was like, oh man, like he could turn. He's turning, you know, This is like, he could do something really bad to this little girl.
Yeah. He believed in Chucky a little bit too much and thought Chucky would be more exact with that knife. And he does not know who Charles Lee Ray is. He did not do his research.
That's true. If anything, he underestimated that Chucky is not his best pal friend or whatever, because he just accepts that right from the beginning that he's willing to help him kill Lexi, but doesn't even think about the fact if he's willing to just do that, and he's already killed my dad, and he knows he killed his dad, then he can do it to anybody. Like anybody can piss him off.
Yeah.
I think it's just about how far Chucky has manipulated Jake. I think at that point, because he's just kind of going on instinct and pure, like he's a raw nerve, because this is the morning after Lexi is dressed up as his father. And so he's just a raw nerve, and he sees this as an opportunity. And Chucky's told him essentially that he's going after Lexi. He doesn't really say anything about the sister. And so I think, he's like what you said earlier, Alma, he's not thinking about the repercussions, which as teenagers happens a whole lot. But also his brain is so manipulated by Chucky that he doesn't know what's right and wrong.
He keeps reminding me of Eve from Eve's Bayou, where she like goes to the person to be like, I'm gonna fix my dad, and she comes back, she's like, what do you mean you fixed him? I was gonna do it. I thought I had a moment to think about it. That's what Jake reminds me of, and I live for that. But like also I think that because Chucky is playing that manipulative game and he is killing the people who are hurting Jake, Jake doesn't understand that he might slip up and kill people who are not hurting me because he's a sadistic little toy doll. So yeah.
Yeah, I kind of feel like as he's grooming him, it's definitely showing. And then I like also how the flashbacks show that, this isn't his first time at the rodeo. He's been grooming children for a long time. And I think that the way he leans into Jake and plays on certain things is very effective. Like it's creepy. But I think that Jake definitely, like y'all are talking about though, you had to kind of know how this is going to go. So I remember being 14, and if a doll was trying to convince me to drop him off at someone's house so he can kill them, that's no.
I would have gotten into a Uber. I'd have been like, here's a doll for you. Because again, I am a Gemini. I'm not to be crossed.
Well, he's also preying on him at a vulnerable time. He's completely vulnerable. Did he say it out loud before he did in this episode that Chucky killed his dad? Did he say it out loud? Like until he said, until he told Lexi when she asked, did he say it? So I think it was just like a really vulnerable time too. And Chucky's like slides right in there to manipulate. I love that you used the word groom, because that's exactly what he was doing. Just like in the flashbacks, it was exactly that word. That's what he's doing.
Yeah, that's the perfect word for it.
I want to talk for a minute about Devin's mom, because she is so like most cops in these films. It's so frustrating to me because there are moments when I'm like, she's gonna get it. She's asking about the doll. Why was the doll there, Mom? But Jake wasn't there. Your son's telling you Jake was not there, but the doll was. Let's think about this. But she seems so stuck on it, Jake having to do these things, and I'm also like, it's so frustrating to me.
In her defense, I wouldn't expect the doll either, because what is that? But also, what pissed me off about her in this episode, because she does something every episode, what pissed me off this time is her like interrogating Jake with no adult present.
Yep.
But that is like so like true though. In like, I think of it being, that's a very realistic. This cop, I think she's too cop, and that's why I don't like it. Like she's too realistic, a cop that's done that. I've been like a teenager being talked to by a police officer, and I'm like, you're not supposed to talk to me without my parents present. She knows he's vulnerable. He doesn't have any parents, and she's taking advantage of that. And it's so infuriating, because I'm like, why is she such a good cop? But also she's like one step away from putting the pieces together. Jake wasn't there. Come on, he wasn't there. Leave him. Try a different route instead of preying on him like at that moment in the hospital.
Your son figured it out before you did.
That's one of the like things about horror that's always like so fun to watch when they're faced with that supernatural like quandary. You know, the doll did it. Like that's a dive that can cost them their career if they, if they start like going down that rabbit hole, because you got to stick it to somebody who's like human, so it's tricky. But I kind of felt like she was a little sloppy this episode, just a little bit.
She even got involved in that fight with all the parents in the lobby.
I was like, let them fight. You let them fight.
She deserved to get some skin in that fight, because old Karen definitely tried it by talking about some, and then his weird ass got that podcast. Oh baby. And I already knew the mom wasn't the one to mess with, because she has dark as shit lip liner.
Yep.
So she's not the one to mess with.
Yes.
That is your warning call. It's like, what shade is that lip liner? Don't talk to her.
Right. Oh, and I didn't catch that the dad, Lexi's dad, was the psychiatrist in Cult of Chucky.
Yeah.
Oh, nice catch.
No. Like, while we're at these parents, though, because I did want them to finish that fight, but what was Bree about to tell Logan before the fight almost happened? Because she was like, life is short, and we should, and he started losing his shit. And I'm like, let her finish. Let her finish.
I am a lesbian.
I want to see.
She's dragging it out. It's infuriating. It's like, let her, just like when you think they're going to get it out. And the thing is that these are not short episodes, okay? They're really like they're diving really deep into these people's characters, which I appreciate. But at the same time, it's just like, let her finish your sentence. Let him finish what he's going to say. You know that they're going to get cut off. And it's just, let him say it.
Yeah.
I want to know the secret. I want to know the secret almost as much. I want to see Lexi like go ahead and like get dead. Those are the two things I want more than anything in this series.
I want her to be able to tell the secret before she dies, because you know she's going to. But like,
we need parents to die like next episode.
But like, I want to know the secret. Like, I don't want to be one of those like post after she's dead, like the lover calls the dad. It's like, oh, I thought this, but no, let her tell her truth.
No. What if she's sleeping with Lexi's dad? What if that's the secret?
Ew.
Oh,
right?
I want her to be sleeping with Tiffany.
Tiffany's sleeping with Chucky in a different body, as we saw a glimpse of.
Oh, that's true.
They still coupled.
I forget they married.
Yeah.
We call it matrimony. Chucky, I'm curious if they keep him looking this gross for the rest of the series. Like,
more Chucky's are on the way.
You think so? You think they're gonna get more?
Yeah. No, more Chucky's are on the way.
I kind of hope so.
I really like the melting. That looks so good. And the top of his head looked like real blood. And I was like, yes, it was. But I kept thinking, what are they going to do? Get another doll that he can like get into or whatever?
Oh, for sure.
Yeah. When that detective picked him up, I was like, whoa.
I was like, cops are so useless.
He's like, ew, and I love that. It's sitting there, but why was that detective eating all like nonchalant in the little girl's room on a ventilator?
Oh, I almost flipped her. I almost threw the remote off the bed. I was like, why are you in this little girl's cookies and cakes, biting things and putting them back in? You're not even family. You're a random stranger eating this sick girl's shit. I hope you die a horrible death. And Chucky's like, I heard you, Sharai. I'm on it. And I'm like, thank you, Chucky.
Chucky just handing out fades.
Right? Chucky's a Gemini. I don't care what he say. He even got two faces now. He's a Gemini. Like, it's just.
Oh my God, that's too apropos. I can't.
All right, but another one of my favorite moments from this episode. Let's talk about the flashback, because they've been adding so much these last two episodes, and this one I loved. That they incorporated Eddie Capaldi
Caputo.
From the first, because I was like, I've heard that name. Why do I know that name? I had to Google it. I was like, oh, that makes total sense.
No, I love that. Like, he forgets nothing, Mr. Mancini. What are some of your thoughts, Ryan? We keep talking over you. Like,
it's fine. That was actually the most exciting part of the episode for me too. The flashback to Eddie Caputo, because like you said, I had to Google, and like in Child's Play, since he was like his sidekick and stuff, we know he ends up dead, second kill of the movie and shit. But it's nice to kind of get into that backstory a bit and like see it illuminated, because Even with like the whole Peter Pan thing running alongside the flashback and how they're kind of like these kids in Neverland and how they incorporate Captain Hook by cutting someone's hand off and shit. Like that's, oh my God. It's so good. And like, yeah.
The maggots was like the scariest thing I've ever seen. I don't do maggots, so to have them come out of a neck, I was like, your art department went too hard. I demand you pull back. Look.
Yeah, that was gnarly. I don't like maggots at all. It's just, and they're live. You know, they always use live ones.
It's so gross. I'm just like, nobody needs this.
For this entire series, the production budget must have been either really big or you got some good creative people to make these special effects because they all look like Chucky half melted looks fantastic.
Yes.
The dead body looks fantastic. The explosion looked really cool. The fight with Lexi and the fire everywhere was super cool. Like special effects and the production side of this series so far, fantastic.
No, like Sci-Fi and USA were like, Mancini said, "This is the budget. That's the budget." We ain't gonna argue. Find more money. Who got a Kickstarter? What's your Venmo? Let's do this. What? Do we think we'll get to see Charles Lee Ray and Tiffany meet because we're going through his whole history?
Well, they showed it in like the little montage that they were like I always call it like a research montage. When David was doing his research montage,
right?
They were showing everybody. So I really think they're gonna. I think they're being so secretive, and it's like just give us a little bit more juice here. You know, we're like we really want it. I'm begging for it. I know they're gonna have to.
And if they do you think will just be like just a clip from The Bride of Chucky? Because I mean,
I want like actual backstory, like we do with Eddie. I want to see him start grooming Tiffany or how they meet.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Before she kills.
Yeah, because we're getting into his past, and Tiffany is a big part of his past, and so I think that deserves some flashbacks too.
That's true. The beginning of that movie, she just kind of knows him already.
Yeah.
We don't ask questions.
No, because it's Jennifer Tilly. You don't question her. If she walked in right now, and I wouldn't be like, "How'd you get in my room?" I'd be like, "Oh, this is your room. I fucked up. Excuse me."
All right. Do we have any other thoughts before we get into tops and bottoms?
Yeah. I wanted to like throw some like love or hearts on the googly eyes between Jake and Devin the whole episode, because like as a gay guy growing up, like I'm really searching my heart and soul, and I can't really remember anything on TV where you're seeing something like that. And it's just such a moment. And I think for me, it's the reason I keep turning up and turning out for the Chucky TV series so far, because they're showing like literally like a kindling romance, like same-sex romance on a major like production, like a major television show. It's like, this is crazy. It's so, I don't know, it's so important to me. Like I was really liking that.
Oh, I'm 100% with you. I've said that like every episode that we've talked about it. I feel like, and like I not only on television, I haven't seen that in a horror film, mainstream, major horror film, ever. A queer love story, even though Sharai's got me doubting things and got me questioning things, and I don't like it. But
this one, what did you think in this one? Because I was feeling the same way, that I thought that he was having feelings for Junior. And so it was making me kind of sad because I'm like, oh, but Jake, it's so obvious. Come on, get it together. But this episode made me feel like, I think it is Jake. It's going to be Jake. I feel it.
If it is, I need him to start doing better and stop sneakily recording Jake's stuff. Because especially with his mom being a cop in the house, I'm like, you're trying to send him away. I trusted you, Devin. I trusted you. And he's all like, bitch, I'm Gail Weathers.
Not Gail Weathers. Gail Weathers is scandalous with the
He's gonna put his wig on. He's gonna put his wig on and roll out and be like, sorry, Jake.
Season 2, he's gonna have red highlights. Season 3, he's got the bangs.
His bangs gonna be as crispy as Lexi's house, and it's gonna just be like, I knew it. I saw it coming.
That's hysterical. But no, I'm totally with you. I love the Devin Jake storyline for sure.
Yeah.
Well, I know you're going to get to the top and bottom, but since you brought it up, the crispy house, I am really, really glad, so super glad that they actually showed Lexi go look at her house, because she needs to learn the consequences of her actions. And it's like, what a big old like wake up call than to walk into her house and see that, girl, come on, take some responsibility for something. Okay.
Yeah.
Because she definitely was like, I can't believe you'd have somebody try and kill me, Jake. It's overreacting. He's like, you dressed up as my dead dad. And she was like, you could have said something. And I'm like, if this bitch, and that's why I wanted her to fall to her death. Like, I'm happy that actor enjoys doing stunts. I wanted to see her fall. And I would have been like, you know what? It's not what I dreamed, but it works. and even Chucky's like, let it go. Because I was like, let it go. Let it go. And even Chucky's like, let her go. Let it go. She's like Kieran on training wheels. And I'm like, you better listen to him one last time and then get rid of him.
It looked possible the way he was waving the knife under her. I was like, oh no. I was like, it's going to be like in a bad place.
I would have howled. I would have howled had she fallen under like this tiny doll with a knife just waiting for her. Like, yeah. I would have been like, this is the chaos I came here for. Thank you, Mr. Mancini. I am writing a love letter ASAPly.
Okay. Because let's get into our tops and bottoms of the episode. So, Alma, what's your top and bottom? What's your top moment from this episode?
Okay. I think I said I had two. It's either Jake cussing out Lexi finally, or Chucky flipping them off in the end, because I love that little sneaky flip off in the end. Because only the three of them are looking like right at him while everybody's dealing with this chaos. And I loved it. But at the same time, I'm so glad that Jake finally be assertive. Okay, I know it's real shitty for her to have said like, you never said anything. Come on, you know you were bullying him. Even your parents know that you were bullying him. And for him to finally like stand up for himself was so rewarding, but also the little flip off at the end.
She got some major Scorpio energy I don't appreciate, and that's why I can't hang out with her. What is your top, Ryan?
It's those flashbacks to Neverland. Like, I really liked it. I thought it was a nice dive. I thought they picked a good actor to play Charles Lee Ray at that age, because he is unassuming. You know, like he just looks very like someone you wouldn't imagine. And when you think about the top serial killers in real life, like, and you look back at pictures of them, they're just unassuming. They don't look like, you know, the monster that they were, tearing people apart and shit. So that was my top.
Listen.
So I've already talked about my top, so I'll say it again. But Jake not dropping Lexi is my top moment, because I don't want Jake to be involved with Lexi's death. I don't want, because already he's being suspected by the cops. I don't want him involved with it at all, because I want him to be the final boy that I've always wanted.
Yes, that would be nice.
Right. My top moment was Loki punching Lexi's dad in the face. I watched Evan Sawa punch anybody, but that brought me special joy, I'm just gonna say.
That was a good moment. Alma, what's your bottom moment of the week?
Okay, for bottom, I picked when Logan, the dad, Mr. Wheeler, he was talking to Junior and made him say that he liked cross country. I was like, that was real crappy. He's in the hospital, and instead of thinking about his well-being or anything, he made his son say that he really liked cross country. I was like, that's a real bad dad moment.
That he doesn't. If you were any good parent, you would be able to see that he doesn't like it.
Yeah, it was like a bad parent, like total parent fail right there, and it was really sad.
Yeah.
Yeah, seeing him vicariously try to live through his son is like, it makes you feel bad for Junior.
Yeah, which I hate feeling bad for him, because he's also on my list of people I'd like to see get stabbed real quick.
You ain't never said nothing truer, child. Like, if he fell into a wood chipper, like I literally would like be like, you know what, shit happens.
Right? I would be like, hey, Jake, you might want to leave the room. Chucky and I got business friends.
His daddy didn't die yet. Anyway, Ryan, what's your bottom moment?
My bottom moment was Lexi's slow upload speeds in her first conversation with Jake, because I feel like we were all probably on the same page. Like, it felt like she was running for 5 or 10 minutes before she realized that you gave the doll to me to make it. Hell, man. I'm like, I feel like this conversation, if it were me, and I'm not the quickest, I'll admit, but it definitely would have been like, wait a minute, bitch, you gave me that doll so it could kill me, and then we probably would have been fighting. It'd have been a physical altercation. So I wasn't, that was my bottom moment of the week.
Yeah.
I don't think she's a fighter, and I think that's going to be beneficial to what I need to happen to her.
Oh,
What's your bottom, Trent?
my bottom is the fact that we're still in this only one good kill per episode. Like, I'm ready for it to kind of ramp up a little bit. I was when it was a fire, I was kind of expecting some more, but no, we only got one, the cop, and then
Yeah.
Right.
I think she's about to escalate when Tiffany and Jennifer and all them show up. We didn't ask who all gonna be there before we got our hopes up about the death count, and they all gonna be there next week. So, my bottom is Jake saving Lexi from the fall, because again, I am a Gemini. I am an Olympic level grudge holder, and so for him to save her, I felt like he betrayed me a little bit.
Our tops and bottoms are all
A disagreement on Fear Street.
Disagreement on Fear Street. All right, real quickly, what are we looking forward to for the rest of what are we looking for the rest of the season? I'm going to say it. I say it every time. I want Tiffany.
Yes, I want more. I want Jake to be more. I just want him to be more assertive all the time, because everybody kind of dumps on him. Everybody, it's like he's like the poor sad kid. I don't want him to be the poor sad kid. I want him to be empowered and to take, like be more center stage. I know, like, he's the main character here, but I'm talking about like personally for him to grow.
Same.
I agree.
I want Tiffany and Chucky Fiona there immediately. If we give them the whole episode and just watch them kill people on their way to town, I'm fine with that.
Ryan, what are you looking for?
I think I'm most excited for Tiffany as well, and like the other like characters from the universe to come in. I love that about this show. That's what I'm banking on, and the body counts are definitely going to go up like immediately. So give me all of that carnage.
When families show up, it gets real, which is why I don't go in for the holidays. Yeah. But I'm ready to watch it on my TV.
I think next week's are over half, right?
Yeah, because 8 episodes, and this was 4.
Oh yeah. Okay.
All right, Sharai, what's our tweet of the week?
Tweet of the week is from @autism_and_horror. It says, why is basically no one talking about the fact that #Chucky series has an autistic main who is portrayed respectfully and with proper care and thought put into her? ? She has specific routines, is a drawing savant, and has a special interest in Chucky and experiences sensory overload. And I love that tweet because we never get that, especially from like the genre. It's like they have autism, make them the killer and make it awful. And so I think that's the reason why we all sort of like are in love with Caroline.
Yeah.
Including Chucky.
I think that's why a lot of us horror fans really love this just entire Chucky franchise, is because it's giving us things that we always said we want in horror that we never get. Queer people, people of color, people with disabilities, like people on the spectrum. Like we want all these women that are fully well-rounded.
Right. Mancini's the good uncle in the house that we're trying to avoid the other uncle.
Yes. All right. So that's our thoughts on episode 4. Thanks again, Ryan and Alma, for joining us. It's been a blast.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah,
can't wait to have you both back soon.
Yes. Making connections.
I will totally.
Next up, our regular episode we have coming out on Monday morning. We're covering The Rage, Carrie 2 with D180.
Y'all want to catch that one? Let me just tell you, it got real wild, real fast, and I'm a fan.
Oh yes,
yes.
We will also be back here next Wednesday, to see what Chucky gets up to. So make sure you watch Chucky on USA or Sci-Fi at 9 p.m. Central. 10 p.m. Eastern, or on the app. You can get it to work. I couldn't. So you can roll in and not be spoiled for the week.
All right. As always, make sure you stay fierce out there.
Bye.
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 I'm sorry.